Hey guys, I know with coronavirus going on, there is a lot of uncertainty in the air, a lot of fear. The markets are behaving differently, mostly in the financial and stock market area, but people are also behaving differently, and there's social distancing going on, and different customs and norms are changing, and they could be a short-term phenomena or something that happens for a little bit longer. So I wanted to get on here today, put together a little tutorial and show you how we've used online meetings in the past for some of our coaching members, and how you can use them for your real estate clients, for buyers potentially, for sellers potentially. And this applies to other industries as well. I'm in real estate, but this could apply to any sales industry or any industry for that matter, where there are face-to-face meetings. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the product we use for virtual meetings called Zoom. I think there's a number of reasons why you might want to learn how to use this now and get better at it. One, this may be the only way to meet new clients right now. There may be some clients that don't want to meet right now, or maybe they can't because their kids' school is shut down, or whatever it is, right? So this may be like the only option to meet with, some new clients or some existing clients, right? So that's one reason why you want to get acquainted with this. Another reason is, people in general, it's harder for them to get in a car or subway or walk or however to get to your office, right? Or to get to the meeting spot that you typically do for clients. So virtual meetings may be a way for you to expand how much you do, right? You may be able to book more people. You might be able to have longer hours where you can meet because you're taking out the transportation. You can eliminate objections with it. So if you're selling something that requires two decision makers, such as a house, right, and someone's on vacation for a week or on a job trip, right, like the husband's on a business trip, the wife's on a business trip, whatever, they're in two different locations, virtual meetings solve that, right, because they can both log on from different places. You can record them, so if an emergency comes up and one person has to miss it, you can record it. You can do a lot of the same things you can do face-to-face, and I definitely prefer it over phone, right? Because on a phone call, they're not seeing your face, so they're not building the same amount of trust, potentially, with you. So, there's a number of reasons why you might want to go to this route. You can share your screen with them, by the way. You can share PowerPoints with them. You can have a chat window. You can send them links, right? So if you have a contract at the end of your presentation, you could put that link in the chat or email it to them. They can click on it. If they have questions, they can share their screen back with you, and you can do much of the same things. And I'm not going to sit here and say I know for certain that the closing rate is the same online. Like, I don't know that. I don't have that data. I do think you'll get more at-bats potentially by doing this, and it's something that, given the the climate, what's going on with the coronavirus, it makes sense to have this tool in your back pocket, in the least. So I'm going to dive in here, and bear with me. My video team is not putting this together. This is just me on a Sunday morning trying to get something out to help people. And so right now I am actually in a Zoom meeting. So I'm going to click out of it and kind of show you start to finish how I would approach this. So it was recording that on Zoom actually, and I'll show you that in a second. So right here, this is like the screen that you would see when you log in to the Zoom platform, right? And just a couple quick things to note. You can change your picture, right? You see my picture up there. It's very easy to delete that or change it. So that way, if your camera isn't working for some reason, right? If your camera is not working, you can at least have a photo of your face. So I would do like a good headshot close up, right? Your name obviously is up there. You have a personal meeting ID. So this is just a meeting ID that you can text someone. You can send them the link that's right below it. And that allows your client, that allows your, the person you're meeting with, it's just quick access. Like you can send that to anyone. You don't have to schedule it. That's most of the important stuff on this page. You can see down here, you can connect this to your calendar, your email. You can link it to your email, all sorts of cool stuff. Now, if you click on the meetings tab, this is going to be the most important section for most people. You can actually have recurring meetings in here, one-off meetings in here. If you click on schedule a new meeting, it's going to bring up this window. You can give it a topic, time, right? It's going to automatically link to calendars and all that sort of stuff. You can require a password, if you don't want random people to potentially get in if the link gets shared somehow. Other cool stuff as well. So I'm going to go back to the My Meetings tabs. It's got all of your previous meetings in here. We don't really need to go through that. I'll just show you kind of what it looks like, right? If you go to Personal Meeting Room, this is the settings that occur for that personal meeting room that I mentioned earlier, where it's just a quick link. It's kind of always open, right? You don't have to schedule a meeting for it. You can just send this to someone in a normal calendar invite or text or email, and whenever they click on it, it goes. You can, by the way, there's some other options. You can set it to record locally. There's things like that. If you have a meeting that happens a lot, you can actually create a template. So you could have a buyer template in here, all sorts of good stuff. I'm not going to cover the webinar sections today or a ton. Maybe I'll take a quick look in settings. So, there's not a ton in here. Obviously, audio type, always enable telephone and computer. That way, if their computer audio is not good for some reason, they can call in. You can allow them to join before you, or they can be in a waiting room if they get on early. You can take away that requirement to have the password when scheduling a new meeting. You can mute participants upon entry. Again, unless you're doing things with like a ton of people, probably not necessary. So, and this is geared more towards meetings with one or two people, right? All right, so if you want to host a meeting, you go to this Host Your Meeting tab. I'm gonna, you can select with video on, with video off. It'll just show the picture of you, or share screen only. Again, I like to do the video on, and this is, so I'm gonna log on to this meeting. It's just going to be me in here, right? It's asking me, do I want to join with computer audio? I'm going to click yes. So now this is exactly what I'm seeing. Your clients, when they're logged in here, by the way, or the people you're meeting with, they're going to see most of this screen except for this bottom toolbar. But I'm in a screen share mode. I'm recording with a different program because I want to show you the controls behind the scenes, what you'll actually be dealing with. So first thing is, look down here where this microphone is. You want to make sure, obviously that you're getting green movement, right? And you can have multiple different types of microphones. So I am, looks like I'm using the built-in microphone right now. That's the default. I'm actually recording the microphone through a different program, but I'm using this is the microphone I'm using, right? So I just switched to that. I'm using this blue USB audio right here. Now, I would get a good microphone if you can. It doesn't have to be something as fancy as this setup. This one works great. It's the Blue Snowball. It's a condenser mic, so it has a lot of the same features as this. Those work great. You can connect with your AirPods. Those work great. But I think sound is important, and you want to make sure you got a good internet connection and a good sound. You can do a little test down here. I think it's same with speaker. A lot of times I'll wear headphones because I don't want the sound from my computer to cause that nasty feedback sound ever. I want to try to make this experience as best I can for the client. So that's a little bit about how you do that. If you wanted to mute, you would click. That's going to mute, right? And it makes it pretty clear. So I'll unmute that. Now, video camera, it's going to allow you to select multiple different cameras. So this one here that says FaceTime HD, that's actually my built-in camera. I just switched to that, and I'll let you guys pick. I think using a webcam like this is a little simple one, right? You can get these to clip onto your computer. You can also get it on a little tripod like I have. I think these are a better overall experience than the built-in camera on the computer. Now, if you don't want to carry all this, you're doing it on the go or whatever, it's fine. But you can have professional quality stuff for very, very little. I think investing in a separate camera is worth it. Same with the microphone. Up to you though. You got to balance travel and portability and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to switch back to my good camera here. All right, so I'm back on the my regular separate webcam that I typically use. I want to make sure hustle or become shark food is up there for you guys. One of my favorite motivational signs. So okay, I am in the meeting right now. Obviously, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. I realize it's probably not the best experience in terms of size. So okay, size looks a little bit better now. Presumably somebody would be in this meeting right now. By the way, you can see it's recording up here, just so you guys know. But what you can do to invite people, right, is come in here. Your contacts, obviously would be in there. You can connect it to your email. I'm just gonna get a URL real quick and email it to myself. Or excuse me, I will just join from my cell phone, so you'll kind of see what it looks like when someone else is in here. Alright, so give me a second here. Alright, so on my cell phone, there's a Zoom app, by the way, and you can do a Zoom meeting from your cell phone. Very, very easy. A little bit harder to share presentations, but you can be on it on the cell phone, but that's more important to know for your clients, right? Because your clients might need to be on the cell phone, and they can have just as good of an experience on their cell phone as their computer. So I am joining right now from my cell phone, and I will mute upon entry because it could cause reverb. Alright, so you can see me on here on my cell phone. I am going to turn off my video because I think it's a little distracting. So I'm going to stop the video, and that's just the picture I have up for myself. So if you were on a meeting with a client, right? This is you know what you'd see. You'd see them down there, or if they're not on, if they had video on, you'd see a video of them down there where my picture is right now. If they had a picture up, you'd see that, or if they didn't have a picture or didn't have video, you would just see their name, right? So now I'm going to go to share. All right, and I am going to start by, let's see, going to I'm going to share a file. So I've got to open one up. I didn't have it open yet. Bear with me 1 second. So I am going to show you how I would share a PowerPoint. So I'm going to actually go to a PowerPoint that is downloaded on my computer and show you exactly, you know, what I would do with a client if this were a client. So you can see the PowerPoint here. This is what it looks like on my desktop. Now, if I were, you know, on with a client, right, I would, and I had that PowerPoint open on my desktop. I would click down here on share. PowerPoint shows up right here, right? So I'd click on that, share the PowerPoint, and and here we go. So it's taken a second to load. Bear with me. I've just got a lot of stuff running on this computer right now. So this is exactly what the client is seeing right now. You see my screen. I'm going to show you what it looks like if they were in on a cell phone. They would just see the PowerPoint, right? And they would see my video up in the you know, the video of my face up in the corner as a kind of like you're seeing right now. And I'm in the mode right now on PowerPoint where I've got all the slides on the side. So I probably wouldn't want to do that. So I would probably go to slideshow, play from the start, and now they're going to see the slides as if I was presenting plus my small little video up in the corner, and there we go, right? So I would just click through that, right? And I'm not going to go through all of these, but you know, you can see I click through the slides. Very, very simple. I'm going to go to stop share now, so it's going to come back to the main page, and I'll you know, it would be the same as if you had a PDF. So I'll show you what it looks like if you were gonna do that, you know, with a PDF. So I am opening up a PDF. I'll open it up in preview. So here it is on my screen. Now if I were to go to share, I would click on preview, share, and here it goes. They see exactly this. So I could, you know, of course, minimize this, you know, the thumbnails on the side, that's an option. Under view, right? So you can take the thumbnails off and you know, make it bigger. And you know, I think it's a little cleaner to do with the PowerPoint, but you may want to do it as a PDF for some reason. So I will stop this share. I'm going to show you some more things you can do. If you wanted to take notes and kind of draw and have a whiteboard, you can do that. So this is a whiteboard. I can draw text, right? So I could, you know, put like, you know, my dream home list, and if they were going over like what they wanted, I would, you know, could go through, you know, close to Metro, 3 bedrooms or more, under 900K. All right, so you can do all sorts of stuff. Draw in here, use this, undo, redo, clear. You can save it when you're done. So this is just a good way to visually take notes and have them kind of see everything. If you were going to do something like the reality check analysis that we do on our team. So I'm going to stop that share. Another thing you can do is connect your iPhone or iPad and share via AirPlay. Another thing that I should mention, right? I can go to I don't have it open, but if I had Safari open, right, or Chrome or whatever, so I'm gonna open Safari up. I got Twitter up. You can see some of my tweets, but if I was in Safari, and by the way, I would preload like all the things you're gonna use on an appointment, right? You should know that ahead of time. So this is Safari, as seen on my desktop. If I wanted to share this with the client, I would go to share once again and then Safari. So if I wanted to walk through an actual home search, I could do that right now. And they are seeing this window. They're seeing this Safari window. I could go to residential sales, and if they wanted to see like all the new properties that came on the market in the 22201 zip code in the last week, right? Or I'm not going to go through too much on this, but if they wanted everything that was active, new in the last 7 days, all right, you can see they've got 18 choices, right? You could walk through and click on anything you wanted here. I'll just pick a random one, I guess, to click on. If they wanted to, see this one on Kenmore, you can actually click through and show them the location, the features, the pictures. Like if you make this bigger, this is exactly what they're gonna see. So you can do much of what you would potentially normally do in a face-to-face meeting. You can do it right here. I'm gonna stop that share. Share. I'm gonna go to files here. So you can also do this directly from Google Drive. So I'll click on share Google Drive. It may ask me to connect and sign in. I did this earlier today, so it might be, yep, it's already ready to go. The first time you come in, it might ask you to sign in. If you wanted to do a PowerPoint, all right, if you had a Google PowerPoint, it's going to behave just like a PowerPoint on your desktop. Very, very similar. So it's loading, right? And you can see it starts off in the normal mode. But if I went to, I believe it's the view button and clicked on present, it's going to go into the speaker present mode and do a PowerPoint just like if I was at a normal meeting. It's taking a second to load, so that's another thing, is make sure you have a good internet connection and all that stuff. So this is pretty cool because it's in present mode, and I can click next down here and it behaves just like a PowerPoint would. I think this is really, really cool. It works with your transitions and all that stuff if you had transitions built in. So I will exit that. Bring up a new share. You can also connect this to Dropbox. Under the advanced tabs, you could share content from a second camera probably doesn't apply to anyone here. Portion of screen, you could just do a portion of it, and I think we covered most of the basic shares. So I'm going to stop this share, and I'm actually going to switch to the view of me here, show you some more stuff down here. So manage participants. If someone was really loud for some reason, or like if you had multiple people on here and one person had feedback or something, you can mute them over here, by the way. Like you can click and mute them. So that's what this manage participants tab is. I already went over the invite tab, where you can invite other people, either if they're in your Zoom account already, you can do that. You can copy the URL down here. You can give them this meeting ID up here at the top. So lots of different ways to invite people. We've already gone over the share tab. They have the ability to share too. So if you send them a contract at the end and they have questions, you can have them share and bring it up. So that's a pretty cool feature. Pause, stop recording. You may or may not want to do that. The chat window, right? If you click on that, you can send a chat to everyone or individuals. And, that's pretty much it for the basic, right? You may... I think most people aren't going to do this breakout room session for the purposes I'm describing here, but that's something where if you had multiple people on, they could all get into different breakout rooms. And then the more tab, depending on your account, there's different accounts, but the more tab would allow you to stream it live on Facebook or YouTube. And again, that's something if you're more into mass marketing to people, teaching, doing webinars, that kind of thing. Not so much for individual meetings. You wouldn't want to broadcast those to Facebook. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully this helped and all made sense. When you're done, obviously you click on end meeting. That's gonna end the meeting. And I hope this helped. I didn't put it together with my video team or anything like that, so the editing may be off, but again, I think this is just something you want to consider right now, especially for new clients, but maybe existing clients as well. Just as we navigate what's going on with Corona and people's fear and the panic that's out there about it, I think this is a way to keep calm, keep doing business, keep meeting with people. So whether this is something you use temporarily or in the long run, that probably remains to be unseen for a lot of people. But I think, at least for right now, this is something that you should get proficient at. Practice with a friend or something first, or a coworker, or another fellow salesperson if you're having challenges or issues. And like everything that's new, right? Like everything that's new, it may be difficult at first. It may be it may be something that you struggle with the first time or two times, but don't let that discourage you. There's always a little bit of a learning curve and stuff you got to push through. So hope that helped, and I will sign off now. Thanks a lot, guys.